Hello guys, welcome to the video. It's TPM5 and I'm going to be talking about three rumors that have been circulating around the NBA in the last week or so. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, the first player I'm going to talk about is Ben Simmons, and I'm going to be discussing a trade that sends him to the Sacramento Kings. So the trade is De'Aaron Fox and Maurice Harkless to the 76ers in return for Ben Simmons and a second round pick in 2023 going to the Kings. Now, the reason that the Sacramento Kings would do this is to shake up their roster. Now, obviously, Ben Simmons isn't someone that can shoot the three-pointer, but is a career 16 point, 8 assists, and 8 rebound player. He also brings a great level of intensity on the defensive side of the floor, which is something the Kings have struggled with for quite a number of years. Now, if you guys have watched the Kings a little bit over these past few years, and particularly during this De'Aaron Fox era, they've played at a very fast pace, usually in the top 10 of the league, but that means they're tired and they can't get back on defense. This season they're 27th in defensive rating, and in many years gone by you'll find them at the basement of the league. And what has really led to some poor performances is them being 22nd in the league in terms of offense as well. So they haven't really been able to do either of them right, which has led them to a stagnant 18 and 28 record. If they do this trade, it changes the dynamic of their roster, giving Tyrese Haliburton the keys to the offense in the guard spot, and it'll help them, insert a player that can also play make, score a little bit, and most importantly, slow down the pace of their offense, given that Ben doesn't tend to get out, and obviously is not as fast as De'Aaron Fox, who's one of the fastest players in the league, but also can stay back and defend, and it'll impact them on both ends of the floor, and it would make the Kings probably more well-rounded, and this would be the first of many moves that the Kings are going to make. They've been looking to trade Hield and Barnes. Now for the 76ers, they've been looking for an all-star or borderline all-star guard. De'Aaron Fox is someone who does that. Coming off of a season last year where he was averaging 25 and 7, he hasn't not been able to replicate that form, currently only averaging 21 and 5, but in a new set of circumstances, he might be able to turn that around, and Philadelphia should look to maximize their winning window ahead of Joel Embiid's 28th birthday, and thus edging closer towards the end of his prime. And given his injury history, the 76ers cannot afford to waste any more years of his career. Now, I make NBA content 2 to 3 times a week. I'd heavily appreciate it if you stuck around and subscribed, and that's all I've got to say about that. On to the second trade I'm going to be discussing. It'll be Myles Turner heading to the Charlotte Hornets. Now, this is a move that sees the Hornets get a well-needed center who can defend at an elite level. This trade sees Turner and Gogo Batadze going to the Hornets in exchange for Smith, Plumlee, PJ Washington, a protected first, and 2 second-round draft picks. Now, the Pacers have been open in saying that they want 2 first-round picks for Turner. However, given that he just got injured a few days ago, I believe it'll be hard for them to find a return. He's had a stress reaction in his left foot, and he'll be out for multiple weeks, and trading him now is unlikely, but if they were, they would have to take a cut price for him. He's averaging 12.7 points and 6.7 rebounds for his career. He's also led the league in blocks on three occasions during his career. Basically, he's the perfect center, making around a 3 game in his career, shooting at 35%, and he can also defend at an elite level, and he scores efficiently from within the arc as well. The perfect center in the modern NBA, going to a team in the Charlotte Hornets who are a pretty bad defensive team despite their 24 and 20 record, currently only the 5th worst defense in the league, not particularly a good mark, and the player at center that gets the most minutes is Plumlee, and that's quite simply not going to cut it for a playoff contending team. And PJ Washington has tried to put some minutes in there, but hasn't really found much footing there either. So this would really materialize the Hornets as a playoff contender and take them to the next level. And on the other hand, it'll give the Pacers some draft capital to kickstart their rebuild, as they haven't quite hit the same level as last season and even the years prior, as the ownership starts to realize that a rebuild is one of their only options for this team. They've gotten worse in both facets of the game on offense and defense, despite adding Rick Carlisle, and they're currently 15 and 29. They have missed Malcolm Brogdon for a large portion of their games, but I think it'll just be delaying the inevitable for the Pacers, which is a rebuild. Now, the next trade I'll be discussing is Jalen Smith to the Boston Celtics, probably the least impactful trade on this list, but it sends Jalen Smith and the Celtics second round pick this year into Phoenix in exchange for Aaron Nesmith and then the Phoenix Suns second round draft pick. So basically, switching two players from the 2020 draft, with Jalen Smith being picked at 10, who haven't quite been able to find their footing in the league, and then also Phoenix getting the better pick in the deal for, just because Boston have been courting Jalen Smith and been asking questions about him, initiating this move. Now, Aaron Nesmith has shot 37% from three, en route to averaging 4.7 points last season. So obviously a promising player who struggled to find his spot in the rotation. And so far this season, Jalen Smith has been averaging 6.6 points and 5.5 rebounds in 14 minutes a night, which is double what he received last year. I think this move doesn't change a great deal, but Boston are looking to make this kind of move, so I thought I'd include it in the list. Now that brings me towards the end of the video. Make sure you comment what your thoughts were on these trades. I'd like to hear some feedback, and also just from the fans of these teams to hear what needs to be done to improve their rosters. And that is probably it for me. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, it's been TPM5. Peace out. Thank you.